It's week 2 of the 2022 season. And coming up, we'll see David Njoku. A nice line for him a week ago, reaching the century mark and scoring a touchdown. It's the Browns and the Jets, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
We're in the so-called rock and roll capital of the world, Cleveland, Ohio, at First Energy Stadium on the shores of Lake Erie. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the New York Jets and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jets, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports.
Free kick out of bounds.
Wishing he had a mulligan. That's not how you want to start the game.
Not at all, because not only do you give up the penalty and good field position, but it just kills the momentum of your team as you start a game.
On the counter, it's Hall. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Wilson. He finds Corey Davis. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Wilson on the hook up to Davis. First down, Jets.
In 2021, Corey Davis made the move from the Tennessee Titans to the New York Jets. But injuries limited him to only 9 games. When healthy, though, he had begun to show the promise that made him a top 5 pick by the Titans. A promising rep there, getting a first down.
Well, taking a look at Hall's numbers from a week ago. 16 carries, 96 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, they set a nice tone in week 1. He's among the leading rushers in the league. I think that they continue to feed him the football and continue to establish the running game so they can get the play action and throw the ball deep later on.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. From the gun, here's Brissett. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. The numbers for Njoku from a week ago: 8 catches, 109 yards, and a touchdown.
And in the preseason, I thought he was primed for a big, big year. And week 1 did absolutely nothing to diminish those expectations.
From just shy of midfield, Brissett. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. Well, still very early in the season, obviously, CD, but already key injuries that they've had to deal with.
And what's really difficult for a team is to try and maintain their focus when they feel like they've been a little bit snake bitten. It feels like every time they turn around, another injury crops up. How do they manage to hang together, get guys to play a little bit above their heads?
He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. John Franklin Myers, the one in there to drop him.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. And their opening drive, that ended with the interception. Fortunate, though, it didn't lead to points.
It didn't lead to points, and because they kind of got away with one, maybe you come back and throw something similar again.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the return across midfield into the 46-yard line.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his second interception.
Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And again, it's Chubb. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. Here's Brissett. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. To throw is Brissett. He's got his receiver, Cooper. Yeah, the Browns are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up 1st and goal.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Well, we have seen the stiff arm get a bit of renaissance here in recent seasons, and that was pure strength there as he forced his way into the end zone.
And when you think of guys who use the stiff arm so effectively, I go back to guys like Earl Campbell, Walter Payton, some recent guys like Marshawn Lynch. Let's go to the Wayback Machine. Bronco Nagurski, he dealt out a wicked stiff arm.
Now Cade York for the extra point. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. On to the 2nd from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Zach Wilson and the Jets offense about ready to take over once again. And he's been off target here early on. 2 drives, 2 interceptions. They'll look to snap that streak here as they start 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Second and 6, just inside the 30. Throwing is Wilson.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. Charles, let's get a look at the draft class for this offense. Remember, no first-round picks this year. They traded it away. How much of a detriment is that?
Well, what they're hoping is the reason they traded away that first-round pick, that player won't be a detriment. He'll be an improvement for their team. And now as you get into the later rounds and the middle rounds of this draft, that's when your scouting comes to the front. You have to hit on those selections.
Wilson.
Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Out now is the punter, Braden Mann.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Browns to take over. They've got the lead right now. You remember last week they defeated the Carolina Panthers here. Good momentum. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
The Browns at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6.
This will be fielded inside the 5.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30, right about the 29.
Cleveland offense making their way out.
Brissett on 1st down.
That's complete to Peoples-Jones.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards the 2-minute warning.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking for Cooper, that's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. First down, Brissett.
Tries the right side, and he finds Bell. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
First down now, but the clock continues to move. Again, it's Brissett. And Jacoby pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season.
And the Browns will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. York now for the extra point.
And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Braxton Berrios selected to bring it out. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Jets going to take over now late in this first half. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3, and take some momentum into the locker room.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Here we go, here we go. Alert, lock it.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
And that play just looked a little helter-skelter from the start. That's the risk as a quarterback. Once you take off with that football, you might fumble it, and he did.
And he was going for the reward, which is gaining yardage, breaking down the defense. But you're right about the risk. Always lurking out there. Someone always trying to get to the football. Try to find a place to cover up and slide and protect what you've earned.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing, Brissett. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Jacoby. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and a
touchdown! Amari Cooper. As the first half is winding down.
And the Browns will extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
The York on now for the extra point.
It's good, and it is now 21-7. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Berrios going to bring this out of the end zone. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Final play of the half. It's Wilson.
Sideline throw. It's tipped, but he's still got it.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, and it's the Ravens who have the lead as they play the second quarter. 2 touchdown passes there for Lamar Jackson. From there, we head to the Big Easy to check on the Saints at home in the Superdome. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Chris Godwin up over 100 yards receiving with 2 touchdown grabs. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting New England Patriots. George Pickens, a touchdown reception. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Jets. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they had a little more success than their counterparts did in the passing game, as evidenced by the numbers there. Final adjustments being made in the locker room. We're just about set for the second half from Cleveland. And to bring it your way, we go back up to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And he is out of bounds here on the return. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter.
As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Brissett sets to throw it. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hunt. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Coming right, this is Chubb on the toss.
And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Brissett. The Jets pressure too much as down he goes. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
37 yards on the punt with no return.
And the Jets will take over.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Ball again on second down.
Strong run, but they get to him just beyond the 40.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Wilson now to throw on third down.
And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 46. They begin this drive with Chubb. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That's a good way to start the drive, 17 yards and a first down.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
Let's go now, let's go.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Chubb running right. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
54 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll try to throw now. Brissett. They set up the screen to Chubb. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Offense.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Brissett. Bryant with a catch right side. Hook up of 15 yards there, and that'll make it second down.
A nice chunk play from the tight end position, and it illustrates the cohesiveness that he and his quarterback have. Both saw the extra defender doubling him up, and they still combined for the completion and big gain.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. Chubb will get the call running left. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
The Browns on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. To throw, Brissett. Touchdown, Browns! David Njoku, his second touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Browns are on their way to a 2-0 start. I've heard you use the term put-away drive, and that right there seemed like the definition of a put-away drive.
Yeah, it certainly just pops right up out of the book, doesn't it? Because up 2 scores already, just wanted to possess the football, keep converting and picking up first downs, and if the drive ends in 3 points, that's terrific. If it ends in a touchdown, fantastic.
Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Another go-around now for the Jets offense. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Anthony Walker, given that O-line fits, he gets in there to drop him.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
That's going to be caught along the sideline, and what a job of keeping his feet in bounds. They say that's a catch.
Now Wilson on 1st down. Open man is Uzomah. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
Now he dumps this off over the middle and brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Throwing again here, Wilson. He finds his man, complete. That's Wilson. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Zach Wilson taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Jets have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. And now it's blocked.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Hey, kill.
They go up the middle with Chubb. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. They push forward, but I don't think it's enough. He's going to be about a yard short. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Cade York on now for the field goal.
This to make it a 3-score game late.
York able to send this one through.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
So out now come the Jets.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a 1st down. Here's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. Looking sideline, incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On 2nd and 10, Wilson. He finds his man, complete. That's Wilson. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Well, time, certainly not on their side offensively. They had to take some chances, but that interception will further hinder their already slim chance at victory.
Yeah, and you're talking about time not on their side, but it certainly is on the defensive side, and they understood that. They knew they had to press it a little bit, and they planned accordingly, and what a benefit for them, able to pick that one off and hopefully put this game away.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Just all around a solid performance, and now they've got the 3-score lead here, Charles, so the final seconds of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, in this one, they've been in control, haven't they? They've earned this victory. No question who the better team was out there in this game. And frankly, the score could have been a lot worse than it was. Give them a lot of credit for how they played in this one.
So it's a win here for the Cleveland Browns, and it was all thanks to the play of their veteran quarterback.
Yeah, you had to like what you saw. He was on point the whole game. Wound up going over 300 yards with 3 touchdown passes. That will definitely get the job done.
So for Cleveland, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Pittsburgh Steelers come to town. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals.